Whenever you're ready, go. Oh, hi! We're playing trains on this track that Samuel built for us. Would you like to read some stories about trains? Well, let's go get to the comfy chair then. Here we are at the big comfy chair. Welcome to Storytime. I, of course, am Miss Hannah. And if you saw in the intro, our theme for today is trains. Can you go choo-choo with me? Choo-choo! Which is part of our big word of the month, which is transportation, which is how we get around. One way we get around is trains. Now, trains happen to be my son Samuel's favorite, so we may just see him somewhere in the video. We'll see. But back to our books. Our first book for this week is called Whoo, Whoo Goes the Train by Rockwell. It's about a little boy named Alan who loves trains just like Samuel. So let's read it. Alan loved trains. His favorite toy was a little wooden train. He had train books and posters as well as a CD of train noises. But Alan had never ridden on a real train. Alan made trains out of his cereal. He'd go, woo, woo, so that it sounded just like a train, sometimes with his mouth full, woof, woof. He took his time getting dressed and getting ready for bed if he was pretending to be a semaphore. Semaphore is all these signals here. It tells the train how to go different ways. Every week, Alan went to the library to borrow books about trains. On the way, there was a train crossing. Alan always hoped that the gate would be down. Clang, clang! The bell meant the train was coming. Sometimes a long freight train with boxcars and shiny tankard came rolling and rumbling along. There were red boxcars and green ones and yellow ones. There was always more freight cars than Alan could count. Can you count all of them? Have you tried? So many. One day, Alan and his parents drove to a small building right next to the railroad tracks. A high-speed passenger train went whistling by. They were at the train station. Alan, get ready for your first train ride, said Dad. Woo, woo! Alan couldn't wait. Is he excited? Dad bought tickets. Alan wriggled on the bench, but he held tight to his ticket. When is the train coming? He asked again and again. It's almost time, said his mom. And then it was time. Everyone went outside. A passenger train slowed down and came to a stop. Whoosh! The door slid open and the conductor stepped out. All aboard! He cried. As soon as everyone got into the train, the door slid shut and the engine started. Alan saw a sign for the bathroom at the end of the car. He wanted to go. He'd never been to a bathroom on a train. When he and his dad came back from the bathroom, the conductor punched a hole in Alan's ticket. This is my first train ride, Alan told him proudly. Good for you, said the conductor. Clickety-clack. The train went past a crossing. Alan waved at the people waiting for the train to pass. He watched the buildings race by his window. Below the tracks, cars drove underneath a railroad bridge. The train went, and suddenly everything went black. The train went through a tunnel. When the train rolled out of the tunnel, Alan saw a blue sky and white clouds and green fields, black and white cows. The train went faster and faster. It crossed a long, long bridge over a river. A freight train was going in the opposite direction. There's the passenger train going that way and the freight train going that way. Al and his mom went to the snack car. They pushed the door open on the cars. Swish, it slid open. Clickety-clackety, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Walking between the cars was noisy and shaking and exciting. The snack car smelled yummy, a mixture of popcorn and hot dogs. Does that sound yummy to you? Alan ate his hot dog and popcorn. His dad closed his eyes and went to sleep. Alan's mother read her book, but Alan wasn't having fun watching things whiz by the window. When the train slowed down and stopped, Alan's dad jumped up. Alan was sad the train ride had ended. He could have gone on riding all day and night. He's sad. He wanted to keep watching all day. Then everyone looked at Alan. And then everywhere Alan looked, he saw trains going this way and going, woo, clickety-clack. They were in Trainland. Look, there's the passenger train, and there's a bullet train. Oh, so many trains. Alan rode an old-fashioned steam locomotive first. That was his favorite. He was very, very happy. Can you go like a train with me? Ready? Woo, 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 woo. That in. Would you like to ride a train at Trainland? Think that would be fun? I think it would be fun. Have you ever ridden a train? Should we go sing a song about trains? Let's go sing a song about trains. Okay, we're going to sing a railroad song with my crew here. This is an I do, you do song. So I sing, then you sing. Ready? Here we go. Exactly. Down by the station. Now you do.
Down by the station.
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
See the little train cars.
See the little train cars.
All in a row.
All in a row.
See the station master.
See the station master.
Turn his little handle.
Turn the little handle.
Puff, puff, toot, toot.
Puff, puff, toot, toot.
Off we go.
Off we go.
Ready? Let's do it one more time. Ready? Down by the station.
Down by the station.
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
See the little train cars.
See the little train cars.
All in a row.
All in a row.
See the station master.
See the station master.
Turn the little handle.
Turn the little handle.
Puff, puff, toot, toot.
Puff, puff, toot, toot.
Off we go.
Off we go.
Good job. Good job to Talia. Good job, Dorothy. Good job to Samuel for staying in here for a little bit. Let's go read another story. Here we are. Back again. I've got another book. It's a really short one. This is called Huff and Puff. And it's by Tish Rabe. And it's a real short book. And I think you might be able to help me with it again. You're going to have to make some sounds with me. Can you make some sounds with me? Ready? Clickety-clack. Clickety-clack. Here come the train along the track. Huff in front, puff in back. Ready? Clickety-clack. Clickety-clack. Puff helps Huff. Puff pushes the train in the winter snow and summer rain. Clickety-clack. Clickety-clack. Push, 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 said Puff. That's all I do. I think it's time for something new. I want to pull the train, said Puff. That's fine with me, said Huff. So the train went down the track. Puff in front, Huff in back. Ready? Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. They switched, didn't they? The engine's at the back and the caboose is at the front. Isn't that silly? But then the wind began to blow. Puff said, "Oh no, here comes the snow." Do you think the caboose is strong enough for that? "It's so hard to pull the train," said Puff. "It's so hard to push the train," said Huff. Till they switched back. "I'm tired," said Puff, "but now I see the back is the place for me." "I tried," said Puff. "I tried," said Huff, "but now I see the front is the place for me." Are they going to switch back? So now the train goes down the track. Huff in front, Puff in back. Ready? Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. There's Huff and there's Puff. Huff. Huff is the engine. Puff is the caboose. Can you guys say those words with me? Engine and caboose. The engine is at the front. Think of it as your nose. And the caboose is at the end. Think of it as your toes. Should we go sing another song about trains? Let's go. Let's sing another song about a railroad. Let's sing "I've Been Working on the Railroad." Here we go. Can you get your pickaxe ready? I've been working on the railroad all my livelong days. Ready? I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can you hear the whistle blowing? Captain, won't you blow your horn? Can you say? And then we're going to go Dinah. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Let's do I've been working. Ready? I've been working on the railroad all my livelong days. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can you hear the captain saying, Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Doo-doo-doo. Good job. Let's read a story about how a railroad man got his cap. Let's go. And for our last book, this is what I'm excited about. This is called Stormy's Hat. Just right for a railroad man. And it's by Eric A. Kimmel. And this is based on a true story. It's based on a true story. So let's read about Stormy. Ready? Stormy Cromer was an engineer. He drove a locomotive on the Red Stack line from St. Paul to Chicago. Stormy loved driving trains. He loved the woo-woo of the steam whistle. He loved the chug, 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 chug of the locomotive. He loved the pukada, pukada sound the steel wheels make rolling along the track. There was only one thing about his job that Stormy didn't like. He couldn't find a hat that was right for a railroad man. One Monday morning, Stormy climbed into the cab of his engine. He wore his new derby hat, and as his locomotive entered the Winston Tunnel, the wind snatched the derby from his head. Stormy tried to catch it, but his hat was gone. "Great Casey Jones!" Stormy shouted. He complained to his wife, Ida. "That's the third hat I've lost this month. Why can't I find a hat that will stay on my head? Why can't I find a hat that's just right for a railroad man?" Well, I've been thinking about that, said Ida. It seems to me... don't you worry your pretty little head, said Stormy. I'll figure something out. A cowboy hat, that's just what you need, Stormy's friend Tex told him. Get one with the bonnet strings that tie under your chin, and so it won't blow away. Stormy got himself a tall white Stetson hat. See, he's got a Stetson. He tied the bonnet strings under his chin just like Tex said to. The hat did blow in the wind, but it was so tall and wide that it kept getting in the way. See, it's getting in his way. The brim flopped down over Stormy's eyes when he tried to read the gauges. Oil and coal dust stayed in the crown. Stormy began to run with a white hat. Then he began the run with a white hat. He ended with a black one. This hat might work for a cowboy, but not for me, Stormy grumbled to Ida when he got home. I need a hat that's right for a real man. I think you should. Don't you worry your pretty little head, said Stormy. I'll figure out something. Should Stormy listen to Ida? He should. A presserman's hat, that's what you need, said Stormy's friend Nate suggested. Nate was a printer who ran the presses and printed the great Chicago newspaper. He showed Stormy how to pull a presserman's hat from a sheet of newspaper. It's small and it won't get in your way, and if it blows off or gets dirty, you'll make another one. This is just the hat for me, said Stormy. He walked down the rail yard wearing his new presserman hat. Look at his hat. Do you think that one's going to work on a train? We'll find out, won't we? The hat worked fine until a spark from the firebox landed in it. Stormy's paper hat began to smolder and burst into flame. I'm on fire! Stormy yelled. He flung the presserman's hat out of the window just in time. A presserman's hat may work for a printer, but not for me, said Stormy groaned as Ida rubbed ointment on his singed doubts. I need a hat that's just right for a middleman. Have you considered... don't you worry your pretty little head, said Stormy. I'll figure something out. Do you think Stormy should just listen to Ida? He's gone through 3 hats already, and Ida's got an idea. Try a fireman hat, said Stormy's friend Mike, the fireman. My hat's made of leather and it won't burn. If it gets dirty, you just wipe it clean. The brim is in the back so it won't get your way. It's heavy and the wind won't blow it off. That might work, said Stormy. It did. For a while. The fireman's hat didn't blow off when Stormy leaned out the window. And it didn't get in the way when he checked the gauges. To clean it, he just had to wipe it off with his handkerchief. And no matter how many sparks landed on, it didn't catch fire. So like a good hat so far. But a fireman's hat is mighty heavy and hot to wear. It gave Stormy a headache. My head feels like John Henry's pounding on it with a sledgehammer, Stormy said to Ida as she brought some headache tablets and a glass of water. Policemen have hats, sailors have hats, even coal miners have hats. Why can't I find a hat that's right for a railroad man? Maybe if you... don't you worry your pretty little head, said Stormy. I'll figure something out. He should listen to Ida, shouldn't he? Well, I may not be here when you do. If you don't say one more time, Stormy, if you say that one more time, Stormy, I'll walk out the door and not come back. My head isn't little. It's as big as yours and just as smart. Either listen to what I have to say or stop complaining. Golly, said Stormy. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Ida. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Just talk to me the way you talk to your friends. Ida has an idea. Ida picked up her sketch pad and took out her drawing pencil. I have an idea, she said. Close your eyes and imagine you're in that hat store. You've just found the perfect hat for a railroad man. What does it look like? Stormy leaned back in his chair and shut his eyes. It has a wide brim to keep the sun out of my eyes. Ida began to sketch. but not so wide it gets in my way. Ida erase. It fits tight so it won't blow in the wind. Ida sketch. But not so tight that it gets my head hot or gives me headache. Ida erase. It won't catch fire. I can wash it with my overalls when it gets dirty, and I can fold it up and carry it in my pockets. If I don't want to wear it. Ida finished sketching. Open your eyes, Stormy. How about this? Ida showed her drawing to Stormy. Stormy stared at the picture. It's perfect! That's the hat I want. Do you see the shape? This is a hat for a railroad man. Where can I buy it? You can't, said Ida. It doesn't exist. I made it up by drawing what you described. But now I know what your hat looks like, and I'm sure I can sew it for you. Would you do that for me? Stormy asked. I promise that from now on I'll listen to everything you have to say. It's a deal, said Ida. Ida looked in the closet. She found one of Stormy's old baseball caps. She cut the top and made a new one out of canvas. It looked like a bubble. Ida extended and recovered a brim and attached it to the new top. Try it on, she said to Stormy. Stormy put on the hat on his head. It fit just right. It's exactly what I've been looking for, he exclaimed, admiring himself in the mirror. Stormy rode his hat in the railroad yard on Monday morning. He made the run to Chicago and back. The hat didn't blow off. It didn't get in his way. It didn't catch fire. It didn't give him his headaches. It got dirty, just like his overalls, but he would wash it clean again. And when Stormy didn't need his hat, he tucked it in his pocket. Ida had done it. She had created the very best hat for a railroad man. Hey, Stormy, where'd you get the hat? I want one too, each of the trainmen said. You're out of luck, boy, said Stormy. There's only one hat like this in the whole wide world, and it's mine. Ida made it for me. Would she make hats for us? She might. Why don't you ask her? Engineers, brakemen, firemen, everyone who worked on the railroad wanted a hat like Stormy's. Orders came from all over the country. There were too many hats for Ida to make by herself, so she and Stormy opened a factory. Soon they were sending hats to railroad men all over the world. More than 100 years have passed since Ida made that hat for Stormy. Today, whenever you find trains, you'll find people wearing Stormy's hat. It's the only one just right for a railroad man and a railroad woman. They owe it all to Ida, who knew exactly what Stormy needed, and Stormy, who listened to Ida. There they are in their, look at the factory right there. This is a true, partially a true story about George Stormy Cromer, and who was an engineer, and his wife Ida, and who made his cap. Isn't that a cool story? Let's go do the big word of the month, and we'll come back here and we'll see our craft. Our big word of the month is transportation, and that's how people get around. Now we're trains this week, so let's be choo-choo trains. So we're going to do it 3 times to get it into your brain. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Transportation. Here we go. How people get around. Choo-choo. Ready? Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Transportation. How people get around. Choo-choo. You're so good at this. Ready? One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Transportation. Ready? Here we go with our train. How people get around. Good job. Let's go see what our craft is for today. Our craft for this week is to make some train tracks. They're really easy to make. Just make some lines, and then you can try to run some trains on them. I know it kind of looks like a cave, but I've got some so they could go in. I also did it on some black paper and then did some white so you could have some different. It's kind of fun that way, isn't it? Well, next week is our last week for transportation, and we're going to do all the other ways to travel. There's so many ways. We'll see you then. Bye!